Again, my name is Erin Hume, and I'm with the West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission. We are facilitating the process of updating the Muskegon area-wide plan.
Yeah. It'd be great if people follow the plan.
And what we're going to do is we're going to, once again, answer the questions based on what we know today and what we want Muskegon County to look like. We're going to answer the what, the who, and the when. With all the enthusiasm in the world, we're going to let this table go first. When there's number one, what?
Our number one, building citizen partnerships with local elected officials.
Yay.
And getting more input. Who we're going to ask our colleges and people to do some training for citizen involvement. And when? Now.
I like that one.
Hey. He hesitates.
Next. Okay. Let's go back. This table in the back corner over here. Mr. Fisher, I don't know who's reporting out. What's your number one?
Our number one was a continuation of one of the other ones for educational seminars and just education on what smart growth is in general, except we feel that to broaden that a little bit, we also need to educate the community members, not just the government and the realtor. We need to include everybody so that we know what we're going to make this goal, what the goal is, what the background of it is. So we included the who for, I don't know what time you say.
So Winter is the who.
Obviously the local government and the developers, but obviously we need to get the word out to community members and have them be a part of it, to incorporate them as well, and we want it now and to have it ongoing.
Okay, great. I like that one too. We're going to have this table right here.
We had kind of a tie.
Okay, well you can share both.
Yeah, okay. We want to ensure environmental cleanup for contaminated land in the county, and the who would be local jurisdictions, DEQ, EPA, property owners, consultants, community pressure groups. Now, worst first. Now, we want to do it, and the worst first.
The worst contaminated sites first. Okay.
But our close second runner-up was initiatives for greater responsiveness of local governments to citizens' concerns and community involvement. We feel like we're, on the county level, the meetings are too early for everybody. There's just a dampening of democracy all around, not really wanting citizen input. That's our experience with stuff. And so we want more of that. And, I don't know how we're going to get it. We got to keep asking them. But, also the thing is, on that one question where it said community coming together, I really think that has to happen too. I mean, we don't have enough community engagement here, and I'm so happy that you're having this and everybody's here.
Yeah.
It's encouraging when people show up.
Yeah.
We have 62 people here tonight.
Yay!
So.
Yeah. Yay!
And of course, now and ongoing.
Now and ongoing. Isn't everything now or yesterday? Well, we invited anybody and everybody who would come. As of 4 o'clock this afternoon, I had 43 people registered. So we invited all 172 citizens, 172,000. Invited 172,000. That's the population of the city and county. Yes, everybody was invited. Unfortunately, but that's the way. I don't think we'd be able to go on this.
We'd get a bigger room.
We'd need a bigger room. But all right, anybody who's next? Pat, your table.
Maria.
Oh, Maria.
We had for the coordinated planning, so we added also the implementation of the previous being updated map as well with master plans and having the local governments understand that
You have a master plan, let's continue on with it and use what the map actually has already in it. And make sure the implementation happens there. So we had local governments, and then we had those ongoing with assistance from Windsor Dick and
Great, that's a good one too. That's a good one. We'll move to there.
Yay.
The table behind them.
Okay, to help decrease urban sprawl and increase walkability, we said to live by and hire local with anchor institutions and employers. So who would be the Muskegon area first chamber, mayor of Muskegon, Muskegon Now, State of Michigan, Community and Compass, and we said to start now.
Great, that's a good one too.
Yay.
Okay, and we'll go with this table right here.
We needed more time. We had a lot of what's and not a lot of who's or when's. So I'll give you a couple of those because we really didn't get very far as expanding those. A lot of themes you've heard already. Things like encouraging the colleges to expand downtown, expanding a master's program, MCC having our campus downtown. And then, again, a lot of these things are things the community has already talked about, but we really came together around changing the perception of downtown and finding Muskegon's identity. We wanted to build pride around everyone wanting to make Muskegon something that's there for all of us. So we thought maybe we needed to kind of poll people and figure out what our identity is. What do we really all have in common or want to be known as? And part of the One Muskegon movement was all and
Great, very good one. Very good. And this table back here.
Well, it's not enough time to prepare for a test.
I always make you work. Whenever you come to any of my meetings, I'm going to make you work. Usually.
I don't think we got very far, but I'd like to see the joint planning commissions go further. There's much more to be gained from that. And just educational opportunities to educate the local community what planning's about. Most people don't understand what it's about.
I agree with you.
I guess that's what I can say.
Okay, wonderful. Great, that's very good. Very good. You did a good job.
I saw you have that northern regional unit that gets together and talks about issues in their area.
The North Central Muskegon.
I think the same thing probably should occur in the Ravenna, coming out of the Ravenna Township, but that area too, because we have some of the same issues in the rural districts that Muskegon doesn't understand, and maybe don't understand their issues. You know, we deal with just different issues. And
Right.
I think sometimes we need to have subunits to come together as a group.
Exactly. We, in the first go-round of the map, we really struggled in identifying goals and objectives and implementation strategies because there is such a difference between the rural community and the urban community, and how do we have goals and objectives that really apply to both. So we even tossed around the idea of having two sets.
Otherwise, the goal
One,
they get too general, and it's like
right.
just
So, and that's kind of why we really embrace the smart growth principles, like I said, because each community can play a part and have a piece of that puzzle in the smart growth principles. And the county as a whole, when that puzzle, those puzzle pieces come together, can meet all of that and meet the needs of the whole county.
I'm not smart enough about it yet, but I really do think planning commissions and zoning administrators and stuff like that are lacking, especially in our area, for the professionalism or knowledge base that we need sometimes. So I don't know. Maybe all that stuff is, maybe they go through a lot of meetings and things like that, but I don't think they do. I think sometimes we're just working off the what we think is right.
Well, one thing we did through the Joint Planning Commission, the JPC, is when we were putting together all those definitions that I was talking about earlier, we met monthly with the zoning administrators, and most of our meeting was the zoning administrators networking. How do you handle it? Because we were going through the definitions, and a situation would come up and they're like, hey, I'm dealing with this. How are you handling this in your community? And they loved it. They absolutely loved it. So maybe more networking amongst zoning administrators across the county. So maybe we could do something like that.
Is that still occurring?
You know what? Once we completed the definitions, no, they haven't met since. And maybe that's something we need to do. Yeah, with that. But maybe we open it up
Well, I think it's something if the
more of the
township,
county.
I think if that's 28 or 38 units do that, they would send them there, whether they're full-time or part-time, if they bought into it and they were required to attend. Because, I mean, I do think that's important. We may not agree on all the areas, but at least we're professional about it, look at the master plan in our area, we can make sure we make with that.
Okay. I think that's something that we need to add to the list of things that we need to do is the coordination of zoning administrators, networking. So, okay, yes,
I
Dave.
just wanted to add one comment too on the discussion. That was a very good discussion. I think one thing that we all tend to do, we talk about the urban communities and we talk about the rural communities. And there is no real fine line between the two. The one that really brings the pain to the table, the arguments into the boardrooms, is the urbanizing areas. And it's that growth ring around the better part of the urban Muskegon Heights. It's that growth ring, the same thing that's happening in Urbana. They just got a smaller growth ring going around Urbana. And the same thing on Whitehall and Montague. Those are areas. It's the places that are under the pressure to change. And how big do we want those areas to be, and how do we want to let that happen? If we can get that understanding on the paper where we're really looking, that's what progress is.
I agree. Great. Well, we're running out of time. We got 10 minutes here, so we're going to move on.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the uniformity of building codes too, and zoning codes, or zoning codes, I should say, and the need to retain existing buildings downtown and in the downtown areas, not just Muskegon, but all of the downtown areas. And through this uniformity, or more uniformity of zoning codes and retaining these existing buildings, we could draw more residential development and residents into the downtown areas, because they're, the very important parts of the entire county system. And that would be through, more residents moving downtown and mixed-use developments and things like that. The who would be the zoning directors, private developers, downtown Muskegon now, and the cities. And this coordination should happen within the next 5 years.
Great. Good one. Good one. And last but not least,
We actually had 5. The first one was encourage cleaner and tech-based industrial growth, urban-based industrial zones that are easily accessible through things like public transit and or walkable. And then that would be our local government units, county government, Muskegon first. And set a deadline for plans of 2015, and then it's going to be ongoing after that. So that was our first one. And then we had a lot of ones that included, we have lots of deserts around here and working on community gardens, and we kept looking at all this. And all those can be solved by evaluating the health impacts of major developments that are proposed. That would be the health department and the local government. By doing that and taking a serious look at it, that would help, eliminate a lot of the potential problems that come about from it being built without prior investigation and research. And we said about one of 2014 and ongoing as well.
great. Good. If you enjoyed yourself tonight, if you weren't planning on coming to any other ones, you're more than welcome. Again, all 172,000 of the residents of Muskegon County are welcome to come. So these are the dates and the locations. We meet again on Tuesday. That one is in the Collegiate Hall of Muskegon Community College. That room can fit 250. So right now I think I have about 40 registered for that. If you could let me know if you didn't register, you're welcome to come, but it helps me plan to make sure we have enough handouts for everybody. That's the only requirement for letting me know, so I can be prepared. But walk-ins are very, very welcome also. And then we are at Moss Ridge. Again, that one can hold quite a bit. On the 16th, we're at the MATS facility, Muskegon Area Transit Facility, on the 18th, talking about infrastructure. And then we're up at the White Lake Library on the 24th. That one I'm a little concerned about because I haven't been up there, but I'm hearing that that room is very small.
Small, and officially the library closes at 8.
I've already talked to them. We're all set with time. So anyways, if you can make it, we would love to have your input.